Hello and good evening. Welcome to Stamp and Chat. It is Tuesday the 15th of October and I'm coming here live this evening from the UK, which is very unusual. I'm normally here in the morning, but I had a class this morning that had been rescheduled because of one thing and another. I've been away. So I rescheduled to this week and my plan was to go live on this evening, which means that other people who normally can't catch me on the morning have the opportunity to catch me live now. So if you are joining, please do let me know that you are here. It's been a busy couple of weeks. That's all I will say. There's been a lot going on. I've been away. I went away racing to Dijon with Jason. Evening, Lisa. How are you doing? All good, I hope. Yeah, we went away racing to Dijon and we drove. I say we, the royal we. He drove. So it was quite tiring and we have been back a week and I'm not sure where that week has gone because from the minute we got back, we landed home at about 6 o'clock last Monday evening and I was straight. We unpacked the camper and I was straight over here getting stuff ready for my retreat, which was at the weekend. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy week, but I had a fabulous weekend at my retreat and I will talk to you about that as we get going. But I think I will get us down on the desk and we can see what we're doing. So bear with me while I jiggle us around. Evening, gorgeous girl. How are you doing? I'm hoping you're still at home. I'm guessing you are. Oh, my phone's on let's just wiggle you a bit. I'm hoping you are still at home. Right, let's zoom in, get some light on, and get this show on the road because I am tired. It's been, as I said, a busy couple of weeks and Friday night or Friday afternoon, my retreat began and it's stressful. I'm going to say that. It's stressful because I worry that everyone's going to have a good time and enjoy what I am doing. So I didn't sleep on Friday night. Saturday night, I also didn't sleep very well. I couldn't get to sleep and I was awake half the night. And then I think my body since has been like, this is the new of let's just be awake half the night. So yeah, I'm a bit tired, but you're both good. That is good to hear. Well, thank you for stopping by. Right, I have no idea if my grid paper's straight, but let's get it down and I can jiggle about with my camera if I need to. So I'm going to put the stamps to one side for the minute and just briefly talk about our current starter kit promotion, which is running for the whole of this month. It's a great opportunity if you have a wish list of products. Facebook has thrown me out already, so which is super. Thanks for that. It's always a great opportunity purchasing our kit for £99 and getting £130 of product. But this month you get an extra £30 of product included. And this is product of your choice. So you pay £99. You choose items up to the value of £160 and then it ships to you for free as well. So it doesn't mean you have to do what I do. You don't have to show up live because believe me, it took me many years to drum up the courage to do this. And I have to say that I'm not fazed by it at all now. It really doesn't bother me in the slightest. So you can just simply be your own best customer and enjoy the discounts, enjoy the exclusive things that we get, like we get to pre-order items early and see sneak peek things. We get to go to corporate events with Stampin' Up, which are just fabulous. There's just so many great reasons to become part of the stamping community. So I thought I would chat with you quickly about that. You can add any items to your kit from any of our current catalogues or the online exclusives or the new scrapbooking brochure. So just to add that in there as well. We've also got 30% off of our kits, which, well, I should say up to 30%, which is fabulous. And I've just pulled out one and I've zoomed right in now, so I'm not sure how close up it's going to be. It might be a little bit close up, but I don't want to touch that zoom button again because sometimes it just doesn't work, does it? And then I end up flipping my screen and you get to see my air conditioning unit above me. So I'm going to leave it as it is. But this one here is called the Birthday Card Organizer Kit, and it's now reduced to, I want to say £16.90. I think it was £24, but it is beautiful. And basically it's a kit that makes 12 cards. Let's get out the actual organizer. We've got this really sturdy organizer here, which is beautiful. And it has pockets in here to store cards for each month of the year. So there's a little pocket in here that they go into. So it's absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely ring bound book. And then you've got everything in here to make 12 cards like this. Of course, you could give this to somebody as a kit where they make it themselves. It's got everything in there that they need. So we've got elements here. These are like die cut, probably see from behind, die cut elements that go on to make your cards. We've got greetings in 4 languages. We've got days of the months as well. We've got some other bits and pieces, which are obviously layers for creating cards. And this is also instructions, step-by-step instructions. Then we have a roll of tear and tape. We've got some dimensionals here and some lovely adhesive back sequins and also glue dots. So you don't need to buy adhesives or anything to do the kit. Helen, you've checked for me, thank you darling. It's £16.80, so 10p cheaper than I thought. Then we've also got our card bases, some lovely sentiments to go on our cards as well, which I love. I do love these. That's only one sheet. It feels very thick. They're very good quality cardstock stickers. And we've also got the envelopes as well. So you could give this to someone and you could give them the experience of creating these cards themselves, or you could make the cards up yourself and give it them as a completed gift, which I would love it either way. It's beautiful. I love the colours in it. So if you've still got mint macaron hanging around in your workspace like I do, that's one of the colours that's in here. So that was just a quick show and tell of one of our kits. I have many kits here in the studio. I do love them. I do particularly love the ones that have the stamps in as well. I think they're my favourites because then once the kit's complete, you've got a lovely stamp set that you can use over and over. Right, onwards and upwards. I'm using the Autumn to Remember, which is in our scrapbooking brochure. And I'm using some greetings from the Everyday Greetings. So we're following on from my last live. We're using the same elements, the same products. I'm also using this snow stamp as a splat because I love it. It's never far from my desk at the moment. I've got everything mounted up ready to go. My colours are Old Olive, Cajun Craze, I don't know if I used it on the last one, Early Espresso and Pecan Pie. So those are my 4 ink colours. They are lovely together. They are very autumnal. Not my normal colour palette, we shall say. I'm very much more of a subtles, although my cards are subtle. These aren't like heavy coloured cards. They are pretty subtle. What else am I using? The Timber embossing folder, which is just the most delicious wood grain. It's just like a very fine wood grain. If you compare it to the new birchwood, which is more of a larger wood grain effect. So I do love the timber. We are using papers from the, now what are they called? Sweet Days of Autumn. Oh, I remembered. Well done me. I think I've got about 3 packs of this stocked up now, just in case it goes, because it's on the scrapbooking brochure and we have no idea how long these products are going to last. So yes, Helen, we do all love a splat. We sure do. So these are the papers. So when you buy a pack, you get 4 of each design. So you get this one too. And then I think I've used virtually all of the other sheet. The rest of it on our projects tonight, so you'll be seeing that in a moment. You can also get within this range the cardstock stickers, and you can buy this alongside the pack of paper that I've just showed you. They come as a kit. You cannot buy the sticker sheet on its own. Whether that is something that will change, they are gorgeous. They are really heavy cardstock stickers. They're lovely. These are out by my side because I am itching. Now my retreat is out the way. I've got a lot of work to do still because there's always a lot of work to do, but I am itching to get some scrapbooking done and get a scrapbooking class going. So that is my next mission amongst everything else I need to catch up on. Yeah, I am a little bit behind with things at present. But, you know, that's how it is. My retreat takes up an awful lot of my time. I like to have lots of gifts that I've handmade for everybody. And even the few days running up to it, I'm packing kit bags and goodness knows what. So everything else has to take up a bit of a sidestep. Right, let's get on, because I do feel I've had a class this morning and I've been busy working this afternoon. I do need to sit down and not put my feet up, because I don't put my feet up, and I probably will sit with my MacBook because I've got an order to place, but I need to sit down for a bit later before I go to sleep. Okay, so our base is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and we're just going to fold that in half and pop that to one side. Now I'm using only one die set. I'm just looking at my bits and pieces. So this was the other sheet of cardstock that has the Cajun Craze on the back sheet, which I've used a lot of as well. So what have I got? Right, I'm going to start with this piece. Also, I'll pull these out because I'm using these as well. These are the two-tone cardstocks. They are just called Autumn to Remember two-tone cardstock. And you get in here Old Olive, Early Espresso, Cajun Craze. Early Espresso, that's the other side of it. So you can see there the difference in the tone. We get Mossy Meadow and Pecan Pie, and also Petal Pink, I want to say, but I think I've used all of that from this pack. I love our two-tone cardstock. I adore it. It's lightweight. I love that we've got that option of the second colour. I love that you can reveal the inner white in it as well. So, right, this layer here, let me measure it for you. It's 3 inches by 4 1/8. If my mind serves me right. How is it I can remember measurements like that, but I can not remember what I did earlier or what I did yesterday, or, you know, the simplest of things, and I seem to remember things like that. Right, I'm going to grab my top grey plate and just run that through my machine. My brain is pretty much a fuzz the majority of the time. And I will say sometimes I do surprise myself when I remember people's names and I'm like, yeah, I've not quite lost it just yet. Losing it, but not completely lost it. So we've got a layer there for the front of our card. I've also got here a couple of scraps of white, one of which I'm going to be using my favourite circle dies of the moment. Which one am I using? I'm using that one. Now, can you see there are bits of white cardstock still left in here? From experience of using this set a lot, I don't feel that you have to push out all of these bits every time you use it. Can you see how easy they're coming out? I think maybe every 3 or 4 times you use it, you will need to push those bits out. If you've got the brush tip that goes on the take your pick tool, then you probably will do it much quicker than poking them all out like I have done. So, right, I'm going to run this one through as well. So how are you feeling today, Helen? Are you mending? I hope so. I do need to get some new plates as well because mine took a lot of usage over the weekend at my retreat. So just push these little bits out. Yeah, I could do with some new base plates. Right, let's get rid of those because we don't want to be stamping on those. And talking of stamping, let's get down to some. Just noticed a little rough edge on my bit there. I'm going to cut it. Right, so what do we want first? I have brought in my pecan pie and the maple leaf. This one is gorgeous. Now, it does have a warning label attached to it that I'm telling you about now, because if you've bought this set and you've tried stamping with this, now I don't know if you can see from this angle, but this is what I would say we call a distinctive stamp set. It's got etching all over it, and it creates like a different effect rather than just a solid stamped image. Good evening, Jill. How are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. And you could ink this up with a juicy ink pad and have horrible results and think that there is something wrong with your stamp. And we're going to try and see what it comes out like. I've got an example here of how it shouldn't look and hopefully how it should. So let's find another scrap. Is that one wide enough? Yeah, let's use that one up. Right, what I'm going to do first of all is get loads of ink on my stamp. Okay, so it's pretty inked up. And then I'm going to stamp it down. Now, can you see that? Some of you may think that looks okay, but it's really splodgy and kind of dotty. I'm going to turn that over and just take off the excess of my stamp. Excuse me. And then what I'm going to do is grab a wet wipe and I'll use another block. I'm going to scrape back some ink from this ink pad. So I'm just going to pull back some ink over to this side of my ink pad. Give that a clean. I'm going to clean that stamp, getting inky fingers now, that I've just used. Make sure it's dry. And then I'm just going to gently press. And already you can see, it looks like there's no ink on here. But when I stamp it down, look at the difference you get. So this was one I did earlier as a very poor example. But just by literally letting it touch my ink pad, I'm not allowing too much ink on there, and that is the perfect amount to create this lovely veined maple leaf. I only want one of those, so I'm going to leave that one up there. Now, Sadly, we don't have any dies for this set, but that's okay for us who love to fussy cut. If you hate fussy cutting, then you just need to do more stamping direct onto your layers rather than stamping them and cutting them out like I do. I am struggling today with cutting out because my hand is really aching. I did an awful lot of die cutting myself over the weekend, helping people out, and my hand is really aching this morning. So, and I find cutting is the worst. So I'm going to do the same again with this one because it is also has that kind of distinctive texture to it, so I'm not applying too much. How many of these do I need? I'm going to do a couple on the end of here. So this is Old Olive, one of the very first colours I ever bought when I joined 15 years ago. Old Olive, and can you believe pumpkin pie? I mean, I'm not really sure what I was thinking about. It's definitely not a colour of my choice now. Definitely way too bright. Let's do that one up. And we also need the Cajun Craze, which doesn't come out often here. Hi, Kim. How are you doing, lovely? Nice to have you on here. Yeah, it's not a colour that I use very often just because it's quite dark, but it's a perfect autumnal colour, isn't it? Right, let's grab another scrap. And this time we're going to use this lovely leafy image. And I'll stamp a couple of these. I can't remember how many I need. I love how perfectly, oops, and I goofed that one. This stamps, it's so crisp around the edge. You'd almost think that that had been printed. Honestly, the quality, we are blessed. All the better for catching me craft live, bless your heart. Yeah, I'm not normally here during the evening, but I am thinking, it has got me thinking that maybe, because I go live twice in a month on a Tuesday, the first and the third Tuesdays, that maybe my first month Tuesday I'll do in the morning, and maybe my third Tuesday I might do in the evening, so that I catch different people. Because I know I get people, because they chat to me from the States, who can't join me in the morning, so it's a bit of food for thought. Right, what do we need on this one? We want one of these. One of these. You've got to sit and watch me fussy cut now, so if you're needing that cup of tea after your dinner, and you cannot stand people watching people cutting out, now's your time to disappear, because it can be painful for some. This leaf is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So, as I said, it's been a really busy couple of weeks, and quite frankly, tomorrow we would have been going away on holiday. And goodness me, am I glad that we didn't book, because we hadn't made the decision, but we'd left the week free as a week that we could potentially go away. And then last week when we were in Dijon, I kind of suggested that we're going to be getting home from Dijon, I'm going to be doing my retreat. We've been going off on a long haul flight, coming home, and then we've got to go. We're going to Lyon for dinner. Got a dinner date in Lyon early next month, so it was just going to be a bit of a rush. And when I think about it now, that I've come back from my retreat and I would have to be packing my cases to go off somewhere early tomorrow morning, as much as I would probably quite enjoy laying around on the beach for a week, I'm pretty kind of relieved in a way that we're not going. And that's not in an ungrateful way. It's just in a way that I just want to be at home for a little bit. The holiday will still come, hopefully. Maybe this side of Christmas would be good if we can fit it in, but yeah. So yeah, it's been busy. It's been good busy. I'm the kind of person that likes to be on the go all the time. I'm not very good at doing nothing unless I'm lying on a beach, which hasn't happened for a very long time. We just haven't holidayed. We haven't had time with Jason's racing schedule. It just gets in the way of everything. I have told him that next year he needs to step back a little bit, but whether he will, we'll see. Watch this space. So, have any of you got this set? Have you succumbed to it yet from the scrapbooking brochure? I think it's adorable. I think it's a great one for men as well. Like anything leafy works well for men in my eyes. So, did I show you the card as well that I did for, I might have put a post about it, but my daughter's friend had a little girl and called her Autumn. So I made her a sweet card using this set and then cut out the word autumn and put it on the front. So it worked perfectly for that. Right, the other thing I need to do is die cut myself a circle. Did I do that already? I did. See, look, I'm ahead of myself and I hadn't even realised it. What's this bit for then? Oh, this bit was for doing another leaf. Right, I think we've got to do a little bit more fussy cutting, a little bit of stamping, and then we're good to start sticking together. Right, this is my partially cut sheet of cuteness. Now, I will tell you that I have been making lots of projects using this one sheet, and there's still loads of elements left on here. The deer is cute. The owl and the bird and the hedgehog, they're all so sweet. And can you see how we used this at my retreat on Friday night, and I was very much to everybody, can you not just like cut through anything to get to whatever creature you need? Can you please be really careful about leaving stuff behind? Because even these leaves, I've been using these and the little trees and stuff. So what do I need? A little hodgehog. We'll have that one. So you can see I just carefully cut round. I mean, it's a bit of a crime because we've got the gorgeous trees on the back, but the one thing I love when you buy this pack of paper, you get 4 of each sheet. I can't tell you how excited I am for what's ahead of us with the new scrapbooking products, because I have a big passion for scrapbooking. And as I said before, I was a scrapbooker before I was a card maker. So I'm super excited for what is to come. Trying to talk and cut carefully, and we are there. Kim, yours is on its way. It is cute, isn't it? It's really sweet. Very usable. Lisa, you've overlooked it and you're going to have a look to see if you need it. I know. And the trouble is, Stampin' Up! Give us so many lovely things, don't we? Sometimes it is really hard to narrow it down. And I will always say, only buy something that you have a vision that you know you're going to use. And because there's nothing worse than buying something that you think you're going to find a use for, but then when you get it, you don't really use it. And that, even if there's loads of inspiration out there, that still happened to me. I'm going to own up to this one now. I'm grabbing it. I have not even inked this up yet. It's still spanking. Look. How long have I had this? How much beautiful inspiration is there with this bundle? And I haven't used it yet. So it is out waiting to be used. And in fact, Belle in my team, she did something recently with that really inspired me. So just been too busy doing other things. And as I said, with the retreat, that really does kind of take over everything for a little bit. But right, let's pull back in our mat. We need a greeting. So the Everyday Greetings has a load of really useful ones in there. And I have pulled out the Hello, and we're going to ink it in Early Espresso, which does look very black when you stamp it down. It is quite a dark colour, but how gorgeous is that? I wish I could write like that. My writing can be neat, but I think a lot of the time now I don't have the time. I enjoy writing, don't get me wrong, but quite often when I'm writing notes to myself and lists, I scribble and it does frustrate me. Okay, let's start putting together. So we've got our panel, which I said measured 3 inches by 4 1/8, and we've ran it through the machine with the timber folder. Jill, sorry, I missed your comment. You haven't got the stamp set, but you've had lots of fun fussy cutting that paper. Yeah, exactly that. We've all got other leaves we could probably put with it, you know, to give it that autumnal feel. Helen, you like the little hedgehog, and you've got it in your basket ready for payday. Perfect. Right, let's pop down this layer. I love both sides of this wood grain as well. And I'm going to pop it. It's going centrally top to bottom, but over towards the right hand side of my card. I'm surprised I've got a voice actually, because at the weekend we just do so much talking and we sing as well. And we had a late night on Saturday night, followed by no sleep Saturday night. But yeah, that's all part of the fun, isn't it? All part of the fun. Right, this is the two-tone. Don't know if you'll see the difference in there. So that's the paler side. That one's slightly darker. Now, I've purchased myself some sanding blocks. This one you can see I've used on the old olive sheet. They're very fine, and I'm not sure if they're the right thing for what I want, or whether I want something that's slightly coarser. You could just do it down on the table, which will take the edges off. But I like to have, like, I'm kind of bending it because I want random bits in the middle revealed as well. So they're not very coarse. What do you guys use? I use these as well, just like an emery board, which they are definitely, this one is more coarse. So can you see that's the kind of effect that I'm looking for, like that kind of distressed sort of vintage, even though most of this layer is covered over. So we'll leave it at that because that's just a bit. Now we've got all dust everywhere. So Lisa, you've made the decision to use your stamps before buying more. Yes, definitely. And I think that is important. And the great thing is, you know, we can move on stamps that we've had for a long time and then put that money towards new ones as well. But I don't know if you're like me, but I've got some real classic ones that kind of aren't retired, but that I kind of go to all the time. You don't need a whole room full of stamps. I think the more stamps you've got, is that straight? Yeah. The more stamps you've got, the harder it can be to be productive, because you really don't know what to use. If you've got a smaller array of product, it makes it much easier to create, and then your cost per wear, cost per use, cost per wear. I'm thinking of clothes now, you know me, and I like my clothes. Cost per use then comes down, which, you know, you're getting your money's worth out of it, which is important. So I'm just popping that layer down like that. I've got a bit of Tombow on there, but my eraser will get rid of that for me. And then I'm going to add in my DSP strip, but I'm going to pop it on some dimensionals just to lift it up a bit. I've got Tombow on my fingers now, so everything is going to stick to me as well. But yeah, if I look back at my shelf, when you see my face, you see my stamp shelves behind me. Literally, not even a quarter of those stamps are actually current. I could count them for you now, but there's no need. I don't have that many stamps that are current. Don't need them. I like to buy new things. Yeah, of course I do. I'm trying to get this level and I can't see what I'm doing. And I do buy stamps regularly, but when I buy a stamp set, I use it. I get the most out of it that I can, and I think you should too. Right, next on here, we have got a little bit more stamping to do because, of course, we need that good staple splat stamp. Whoops. And I'm going to stamp it in pecan pie. Pecan pie, pecan. Is pecan American? Because I say pecan. Maybe that's a Gloucestershire thing. We all pronounce things differently, don't we? Right, I'm not going to get my mat for this one. So gently stamping with that. On my original, I did have a bit of a wobble when I stamped the next bit, but it's okay. It's fine. So what I'm going to do because of that reason is I'm going to fold that out like that, and I'm just going to add some splats over this side. We'll have one here and just one up above. And I'm going to do that up for a minute so that nothing goes in there. So we've just got these three layers down on our base. Let's just preset that down again. And we're going to add in our sentiment. So a bit of Tombow on the back, and we're just going to wedge it in over on the right hand side so that the word is somewhat straight. Hard to tell with scripty fonts like this sometimes to get them lined up. Then I'm going to take our elements that we cut and pop those in. I always like to give mine a bit of a curl. I think it's more of a habit than anything, because once it's left the studio, it's definitely going to get squished by Royal Mail, without a doubt. They go through rollers, don't they, I think. But as long as it looks pristine when it leaves the doors, that's all that makes me happy. So what have we all been up to? You know what I've been up to? I've been driving to Dijon. So driving to Dijon is 500 miles from here. We took the ferry from Dover, which is 3.5, 4 hours, I want to say, from here. But yeah, 500 miles. So it's half the distance when we drove to Monaco in May. So it's half the distance. So that was a good 2 days driving. Right, so I'm just layering up with my stamps. I think I'm going to put these flat, because Royal Mail are putting their prices up, unless they've just gone up. We have to be a little bit conscious about how many layers we are putting on. And I cannot give all of my cards. I've just started a new local craft market. It's literally 5 minutes down the road. It couldn't have been in a better situation for me. It's in a local pub. Let's move you up a bit. That doesn't open on a Tuesday and Wednesday, and they've got this gorgeous courtyard with like an outside bar that's covered over and heated, and they've got lovely garden outside furniture in there, lovely solid wooden tables, and I did a lovely market there last week, so I'm going to be taking some of the cards that I make along with me next time as well. Right, now we're just going to pop the little hedgehog in, and I'm just going to put my dimensional in there first, and then we'll put the hedgehog after. So yeah, so I'm trying to be a little bit conscious about how many layers I'm adding to my cards, because it's going to cost people a fortune to post my cards. So that one is done. Really simple, really sweet. If you hate fussy cutting, I suggest maybe you could put a larger circle here. Have you got any cut out anywhere? I don't think these are larger, same size. But if you imagine that is larger, a larger circle here. And you could have stamped those leaves on rather than fussy cut them out. You could have stamped on them, but you would have had to cut out the hedgehog. So just one layer of dimensionals is usually okay for normal postage. So that's the first card. I've only got I haven't got 2 cards for you today. I've just got one more project, which coordinates with this one. I'll show you my original actually, that I had a little splodge moment. But they are very similar to the last cards I created because I'm following that theme. So I will bring those in to show you after. Right, what have I got next for you? I have got a gift card box. Now, I didn't create this gift card box. The lovely Stampin' Up created it for me. And if you go to page 29 in your annual catalogue, you will see these lovely boxes here. And they're called the Scalloped gift card boxes. And they're £6.75. They're great value, honestly. Oops, there you go. I just threw it at you. Slipped out of my hands. They come as a pack of 10 for £6.75. And they are flat packed. I've got one out already somewhere actually. And they look like this. Okay, they're kind of like an off creamy white. Can you see the difference there? Which I love. You could use a blending brush on these or cover them in paper, whatever you like. There's lots of options. You've got to go, Lisa. Okay, thank you for stopping by. Oh, you're going to have your COVID and flu jab. I hope that you don't have any side effects from it, but it's good that you're going to have it. So thanks for stopping by. I'll catch up with you soon. Yes, so they're quite lightweight. They're already like pre-scored, so that you've just got to fold it in. I love them, and they've got this gorgeous scalloped edge on them. We used them at my retreat. And then they've got this inner piece that goes inside that has been cut so that you could get, oops, a gift card in here. Obviously to put the other corner in as well. So they're really clever. But I thought I would just do something a little different with my box for you today. So let's just start by building it up. So let's just, I started folding it earlier. Crease all of your score lines. And then if you crease them, it's like when you're making a box, you need to crease those score lines well. Otherwise it's going to have difficulty in coming together. So we're going to put the edges in, and then you've got these little notches in the bottom that these tabs here slot into. So I'm going to do my end ones first, and it just pushes in, and then the front one just goes down in, and you can see where they go into those holes. And then you've got the front fold over like that, or you could pop it inside if you wanted to, but it's pretty and it's scallopy, so I would leave it out, although I am covering it in paper, making a belly band for it. So they're really good size. Now you could use it as it is, ditch the gift card part of it, and then put a lovely liner in there and pop in like a small bar of chocolate, or what have I got in my goodie drawer, anything. Oh, look at that, that fits in there nicely. I've yet to try these, but it's vegan. And I just liked the packaging, and I thought it was very fresh freesia. So watch this space. There'll be something coming with that soon. They're too big. Are they too big? Oh, they fit too. They're a little bit, got a bit of a gap, but I usually like things to fit properly, but haven't tried these either. Who's tried these? They are bound to be good because they're made by Lint. But yes, you could just pop something in there, but not tonight. Let's get out some bits and pieces. So as you can see, I've been using a lot of this part of the DSP. We've got another scrap bit there. And then we've got a piece of petal pink. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to decorate the outside and then we'll do the inner part. So I've got a piece of DSP here. It measures 3 inches by 9 inches. And the reason I chose 3 inches is because our DSP measures 12 inches wide. So if you were making a batch of these, you would get 4 from one sheet, and then you'd also get a strip at the bottom which measures 3 inches that you would get another one from. So you would get in total 4 belly bands for your box. So what we're going to do is wrap it around. We'll start on the top, get it somewhat straight, and then just pull it around. Now we don't want it to be too tight. You could go a little bit shorter. Can you see the overlap? You could probably go 8.5 inches if you wanted to, rather than 9. And I'm going to put my join on the bottom because I'm not covering the front over. So what I like to do, once I've kind of got, I'm kind of pinching it, and it's a nice solid box so you can do this, and then can you see we've got like score lines in there, but I like to take it off and give it a proper crease because I just feel then this then just reinforces that edge that's wrapping around your box. And we will check it before we stick it that I haven't scored it okay and it's not too tight, because of course if it's too tight it's not going to come on and off, which isn't good, because the person you're giving it to won't have an idea of how to get in to the tree inside. So it just goes like that, and then when we glue it we'll probably just pull it out slightly so that we've got enough, because that is quite tight, so that we've got enough room to slide it on and off. So we'll get our tombow going, and then I like to add tombow on the bottom part and then just tombow on the top. You don't need a lot. Remember, tombow likes to escape all over your hands. Let's get it straight so that it lines up like that. And I'm not pushing it too tight in there. We want it snug but not too tight. Oops, I just moved it then. Remember, tombow has that bit of wiggle room. So there we go, and our front is there where the scallops are. Now this paper does have kind of a distressed look to it, similar to this one. It's not a misprint. Can you see it's kind of got just like that distressed look, which I like. I was having a discussion with a customer today and she's not a super fan of it, but I quite like that look to it. And it's kind of the same look as if you were like sanding it down. So, right, so we've got our belly band going round. We've got a strip of the two-tone cardstock, and this measures 3 7/8 by 5/8 of an inch. And again, we're just going to do a little bit of distressing on the edges, just a little bit. That hurts my hand doing that. That's because I'm gripping. When I finished here, I've got my I've got one of these neoprene wrist thingies. I don't know what you call it. It's not a support, but it goes in the freezer. So you put it on and it's ice cold. It almost feels like your hand's going to fall off. I've probably not read the instructions properly, and you're not supposed to put it on when it's really, really cold. But yeah, my hand feels like it's about to fall off. And then when you've had it on for, I think it's 10 minutes, you pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds and it's toasty warm, and you put it back on again. But yeah, I put that on because apparently it's supposed to help. So I'll be doing that when I finished here, although I can't type when I've got it on. I've tried it and I can't multitask too much with it. Right, my belly band is pretty much in the middle. We better check we can get it on and off. Because the other thing that we have to bear in mind is where these little like tabs go through to secure our box. I don't know if you can see, but they kind of stick out a little bit. So we have to make sure that our paper doesn't catch on them. So let's start with it as central as we can. And then this piece that we've just sanded down, we're going to pop some Tombow in the middle and just lay that down near the bottom. So I'm not putting Tombow on the ends because I don't want it to stick to my box underneath. I just want it to stick to the belly band. So we're just going to lay that one down, and then I've cut a strip of the other sheet of DSP. This is the pecan pie one. And I want it to be just a little bit shorter. So there's no real measurement for the width of this. It's a skinny strip. That's all we'll call it. And I've just trimmed it down just so it doesn't touch each end of the petal pink, but it's at 3.5 inches. And we're going to pop that one down too. So remember, glue just in the middle. I feel like there are so many more things that can be done with this box as well. Such a sturdy box, and 67p each. That is just such a good price. Right, I need to cut myself another circle. I've got some bits left in here from the last one. Look at the condition of this plate. It's not good. It shouldn't look like that. I'm just going to scrape off those bits and that's why they're in there, because this plate is so well worn that there's stick into it. So I've just scraped them off straight into the bin. And I've got a bendy middle plate, and it looks very well loved from the weekend. It's got adhesive all over it. But I've not had time to clean anything off properly. I just had to get work done today. So again, I'm going to use the same die with like that lovely little, I sort of want to call them petals, the little trio petals. And we'll run that one through. Out any bits that we don't need. You could do this with your finger really. If you kind of go like this and rub around, they will come out. Right. So on this one, feel another bit under there. We're just going to do a little bit of splat stamping. Evening, Lucianne. How are you doing? I've got some swaps to post to you as well. I've got all of the swaps now, so I'm going to head them in your direction. Right, so I'm just using the pecan pie again, and I'm just going to put a couple of splats. Let's turn that one around. Oh, that was a bit heavy, but it's fine. So just a bit of splattage. Let's do that one up. This one's a stiff one, which I find really hard with my hand because I can't grip. Oh, you've had brownies tonight. Did you do something crafty tonight? I can remember when Sophie used to go to brownies. I've still got all of her like badges and stuff in a box somewhere. Oh, such a long time ago. And my son was 30 yesterday. I'm officially ancient. I've got a 30-year-old son. As ancient as anything. But yeah, so, and Soph's 2 years behind him. So she was just 28 at the beginning of the month. So we want another hello. So I've got my espresso back out. But this time, this is not for the faint-hearted, what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut this one out. So if you don't like cutting things like that, just kind of get a strip that fits and stamp it onto the strip and then cut the edge off. Okay, I just like fussy cutting, as you know. Your boss gave you a box of crafty bits, Lucianne. including lots of Stampin' Up dies. Well, that sounds pretty good to me. Lucky you. The brownies will love that. I know you do use your Stampin' Up stuff with the brownies. So I'm just going to trim around this one, turning my cardstock as I close my scissors. This is the tricky bit, getting up in here. Hold it from that side. If you've got a small piece of paper as well and you've got nothing to hold on to, that makes it even more challenging. But I think I've cut quite a few of these out now already in the last month or so. So I'm used to it. Hope you can see what I'm doing. My camera's sort of in a different place on my grid paper as it would normally be. Oops, I'm trying to look at my phone and cut. Don't do that, it's not good. The result will not be good. Let's go a bit closer there. So how long is a brownie session now, Lucy-Anne? What time do you start and what time do you finish? I know obviously you have to like pack away and everything, but how long are the brownies there for? I remember being a brownie and I can remember dancing around a wooden toadstool. Come on, please tell me someone else remembers that. That wasn't the best of my colouring, my cutting, but it's okay, it will do. It's going onto a white background, so you're not going to see a lot of it either. Right, so we've got hello, we've got our circle. We need another one of these. What are we doing for time? 8 o'clock. That's okay. Another one of those. And, oh, I cut one of these from the paper. How cute. How cute is that little oak leaf and acorn? I didn't want you to watch me cut that out. That would be painful. The tiniest bit, if you look at my sheets, it was a piece like right in there like that, and I had hardly anything to hold on to, and I thought I better cut that one out in advance in case I end up chopping the acorn off or something. You start at 6 and you go on till 7:15. You still have a toadstool. That's awesome. That is awesome. I kind of remember jumping over something when I joined as well. Gosh, it's all coming back now. And I'm pretty ancient. Can't remember a lot of things. My poor brain doesn't function the best with remembering things. In fact, it doesn't function the best with anything these days, but hey, I'm okay. I'm here, I'm crafting live. I'm alive. That's all that matters. You know those moments when you come out of the supermarket and then you come out, you start walking, and then all of a sudden the realization of you have no idea where you parked your car. Doesn't happen to me that often, but the odd occasion, and it's not nice, is it? It's not nice, but right, nearly done with the fussy cutting. Having my hair done tomorrow. I'm super excited. Super excited. And then I'm probably going to come back. Well, it depends how long my hair takes. Do a bit of work. Then I think I'm going to meet my daughter because I've hardly seen much of her because I went away to Dijon and then she went away on a business retreat with some other creatives, and she went all the way to Colorado on her own and met with strangers that she's only met online and had the most amazing time. So I've hardly seen her, and I'm used to seeing her a lot. So we need a good working coffee catch up. We do work when we catch up over coffee. We both work. Right, let's just curl that one as well. So what we're going to do, oh, I need something else, but I'll cut that next. I'm going to pop some dimensionals behind here. Stuck to my nail. So yeah, I'm excited to have my hair done because my roots are really bad, embarrassingly bad at the moment. But I've just not been able to squeeze in the appointment before now. So I'm just popping my circle over on the right hand side. I would love it if you sent me a picture of all the dies, Lucianne. That would be super. Right, I need another hedgehog. Have I got one on here? Have I got to cut into a new piece? I've only got half of one there. Maybe we could use that little owl. It won't matter if it's not the same, will it? Should we use the owl? Yeah, let's use the owl. Let's not cut anything on our route to trimming around it. I really like the little birds that are on there as well. This one that I did last week. I did quite a bit of fussy cutting last week, didn't I? That little bird, so cute. So if you've not seen last week's live, you can head over to YouTube and catch it there. Had a bit of a growth spur on YouTube, and as in like followers, and a couple of my videos have gone really well. Oh, this owl is cute. Stampin' Up, if you're listening, can we have a little stamp set that's got this owl and this hedgehog in? That would be lovely, thank you. You would sell so many stamps if you did that. We all love owls and we all love hedgehogs. Right. Dimensionals. Right, I want some dimensionals behind this one. I'm going to put a little one there. Where's my edgy bits? And we'll have a skinny edge. Oop. There. It doesn't matter about that bit because it's going to hover a little bit. And we can put one behind here because even if we were posting this one, it'd have to go in a bigger box anyway, so we wouldn't have to worry about how much it was going to cost. So we're going to pop that one over this side somewhere. Oop, like that. Then we're going to pop on this Cajun Craze one. I'm just going to pop a dollop of glue. And I'm learning to use, oh, it's sticking to me, my Take Your Pick tool for holding down gluey little bits like this, just to save getting glue on my fingers. Lucianne, you'll sort it out Thursday or Friday when you're off. Okay, my lovely, that would be nice. And in the meantime, I will get your swaps posted to you. About, if you're catching on replay, I've got swaps for you as well. I think we'll put our owl in first. Look at the rosy cheeks. You have to go on a dimensional because we need you to pop out. I'll pop you. Maybe we'll put that in first actually, and then we'll know how much room we've got. Put the hello there. Pop the owl in there. Oh, cute. And then I've got to pop this little oak leaf and acorn in. So a tiny little bit. I love how with Tombow you can be so controlled about how much glue comes out. Mind you, on a hot day you can't. It's like a volcano, isn't it? Cute. Love it. It's quite layered. It's got quite a bit of depth to it. But cute. Right, now we've got it all on there. I'm going to pull off the belly band. We're going to sort the inside out now. Right, this is where we come to these other bits and pieces. So this piece of cardstock, this is Petal Pink. Now you could have used the two-tone, but I just pulled this off my shelf because I've got plenty of it. And it measures, just line it up to my grid paper, 8 1/4 by 3 7/8. Now that is also quite a detrimental measurement. If I grab another piece, oops, that was 2. So 8 1/4 is the width of our cardstock, but also 3 7/8 means you will get 3 across one sheet of cardstock. Okay, they fit 3 7/8, works 3 ways in there. So that was part of my theory, because I'm going to be honest with you, when I'm making anything other than a card, as well as cards though, I spend a lot of time figuring out how I can get the most from my sheet of cardstock. So also we're going to turn this sheet. I'm putting that Latte Love down by my feet so that I keep tripping over in it and I use it. I feel like I need to do something Christmassy with it. Maybe you should challenge me. So this measures 8 1/4. So if we divide that by 3, it's 2 3/4. So we're going to score 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So we've got 3 equal panels there. Oh, these dark nights. Is anybody enjoying these dark nights yet? Because I'm still adjusting to them coming in. Right, I need to just pull off my original because I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. So we need to fold this way. When you're folding and scoring, let's turn that round, make sure these pieces line up before you actually put your crease in it. And then we're going to go backwards on that one so that we end up with this Z fold. And then what we're going to do, on the bottom piece, I've cut a piece of this gorgeous DSP, which is very close to the actual size of, and a bit of white as well, which I haven't cut, so I'm going to do that quickly, but it's very much the same size as that panel. Got a scrap of white here, let's just measure this. I'm tempted to make it, no I'm not, there's a reason why I didn't. I was going to make it slightly smaller then so that I've got a bigger gap, but so it measures 3 3/4 by 2 5/8. So I've got a piece of white now that measures the same. I'm going to stick this one in first. Oop, Tombo's gone to sleep. I've got Tombow on my grid paper now, which isn't good. I'm going to pop that one on, just so we've got an even border all the way around. And then on this piece here, we're going to do a bit of stamping. I'm going to pull my mat in, because remember, we need, when we've got photopolymer stamps, we need a spongy surface because we don't have that sponginess within the photopolymer like our cling stamps. So you can see there's no red rubber or foam, so we've just got the photopolymer, which I do love because we can see where we're going with them. So I'm just going to stamp on here. So I've inked up, I'm going to ink up even, from the Everyday Greetings, the word birthday. The only thing is I do like my grid paper for helping me line things up. And I'm doing it just down from the centre. Look how fine that is. And then we're going to add on your, so on your birthday. When you buy a stamp set, you start playing with it, you soon discover about pressures. And when you're new to stamping as well, you may not get as good a result as that, because this is how I see some new people stamp. They're pushing it right in like that. So they start off with this and then they get it down on their paper and they push it down on there. I mean, that's not bad considering the amount of pressure that I was putting on there. It's turned out quite thick and there's no splodges. And I guess it just depends on the look you want. But generally, when you've got a really fine line stamp like this, you need to apply very little pressure, because it really does affect the way something ends up. Right, I've got ink on me now from closing that. What else do I need? I need Old Olive. Let's open that one up. Ouch. And in the stamp set, we used this oak leaf earlier, but we've also got this really cute little one, which isn't distinctive like this one. It's not etched, it's just a solid stamp. And I'm literally going to ink it up, make sure it is clean. Ink it up once. Looks like I can see something down there. I'm just going to clean it and start again. You can also pick up dirt and dust from your ink pad. So I'm going to stamp it. Where shall I stamp it? Up here. Once. And then I'm going to do second generation right next door to it. Look at that. Beautiful. Cute little stamp. Let's put that one out of the way. The stamp set I've used, Lucianne, is the Autumn to Remember. So it's from the scrapbooking brochure. So even though it's from the scrapbooking brochure, it doesn't mean it's just for scrapbooking. You can use it on anything, as you can see by my projects. And the dies are the Spotlight on Nature, the circle dies. So adorable. Can't put them down at the minute. Right, so we've got those two. I think that's all of our stamping we need. And then we do need another one of these, just because. So let's stick this one in. This is going in the center panel. It is a little bit tight, but there is a reason which you'll see in a minute, because I didn't want them to look different to this panel up here. And then we're going to pop this little one in as well. Just going to give it a little bend. And we want a dimensional. Let's cut a sliver to go in that one. And just pop that on there. And we'll just put it in there like that. Oh, so cute. You're going to put an order in this week. How much is this stamp set? It's 20 something. It's £23. But the papers are lovely that goes with it. Right, what is next? Oh, yes, this piece here. Now, it's originally designed to have a little fold here like this. And I guess to stick inside your box like that. But I had different ideas. I'm going to chop off that foldy bit in my trimmer. Try not to chop the curves off too much. I'm just going to push those through without stabbing myself. Take off the bits. And then I've cut myself a piece of the coordinating pattern paper that I'm going to slot in here. Let me measure it for you. You could make it, you can't really make it a lot bigger actually because it won't fit. It's 3.5 by 2.25, and it fits just in where your gift card would go. So I'm just going to put glue in the middle, otherwise I'm going to end up with it in my fingers everywhere. So once it's in there, it's not going to move anyway. In you go. And get it straight, because straight would just look better. So that's glued down on there, like that. And then your gift card will fit. My business card does fit in there, but it's a bit longer than a gift card. But I have this little number hanging around, which I really need to take to Starbucks because I'm sure there's money on it. So it will still go in there, and it just leaves a bit of the paper around the edge. But I'm going to put it on dimensionals. I don't know why, I just want to. Just want it to pop out even more. So I'm just going to pop it on some dimensionals. Like that, which aren't necessary, but we've got plenty of room inside our box for a bit of depth going on. And then this just about fits left to right on the paper, which is why I didn't want to make these too much more narrower, because I didn't want them, I wanted it to kind of flow. So then my thinking was we could glue that into our box. We've got our gift card. I won't put it in both sides, but it sits in there. And then when they take off their belly band, they've got a little fold out card with a little handwritten message. And what I would do is, if I was selling this or gifting it to, how am I wording this? If I was selling this at a craft fair, I would put, where's the bottom? Tear and tape on here, like so, and leave it unattached, so that whoever's buying this to gift it can write on it before they stick it in. Because once you've stuck it in, you're going to have a bit of a job writing on it, aren't you? So if you're making it to give to someone, write on it first, then stick it in. If you're making these to take to a craft fair, just tell the people when you're selling this that they need to remove the sticky strip from the back once they've written on it. And do remember that when you are selling products that are made with Stampin' Up's products, you need to put the copyright image on. If I've got any on back of mine. Oh, I've got a lovely card somebody here made for me. You need a little logo that looks like that. You can handwrite it on if you want to. This is a card I got from my lovely Helen for my 15th anniversary with Stampin' Up. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a Spotlight on Nature stamp set that coordinates with the dies. So I'm lucky. Yeah, so you just need to put tear and tape on there. That goes in. Your belly band goes round. It's not a very nice word for it really, is it? A belly band. And there we go. I've got another one I made earlier where I used the hedgehog. I think this one's a little bit tighter to get on and off. Cute, hey? Pretty cute. And let's choose my card that doesn't have the smudgy splats on. So there we go. That is me done for the day. I haven't even thought about Are we the third Tuesday? I'm having a right moment now. We are the third Tuesday, aren't we? We definitely are the third Tuesday. We're only on the 15th of the month. Maybe the first Tuesday was on the 1st of the month. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was Sophie's birthday. I'm just thinking, I haven't designed what I'm doing for next month. But we're only on the 15th. I don't need to be doing it yet, but I do. I need to be planning. I'm not sure what we'll be doing. Probably something Christmassy, because we all need a bit of Christmas inspo. But I'll bring in what I did last time. And that was these 2 cards. So you can catch the replay of how I put these together over on YouTube. And then I did this little gift card holder, which I have to say I'm super impressed with. So this is retired ribbon, by the way, but you can use something that coordinates, and it just folds out, and then our gift card goes in here. So uses half a sheet of cardstock and then just over half a sheet for your inside layers, but think of the possibilities for that. Right, I hope you've enjoyed my stamping tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry that I wasn't here this morning, but I think it's quite nice to be here on the evening and kind of alternate, because it means I catch people that I don't normally catch, because you're all busy in the day, or you're working, or you're not in the right country, so you're fast asleep in bed. So yeah, right, I am going to love you and leave you now. Don't forget about the fantastic starter kit. If you've got any questions about it, please do get in touch. There is no pressure from me to do what I do, to run a business, to go live, to do blog posts and all that goes with what I do. There is no pressure. You can simply join, be part of a lovely community, a lovely bunch of people, make new friends, and get a discount on your Stampin' Up products. So just get in touch. I'm looking around thinking there was something else I needed to show you, but nothing is jumping out at me. So I will bid you farewell, and I need to pop up in my community group. I'm going to pop up and do a live in there very soon, because I haven't gone live in there for ages because of the retreat. So if you have not joined my stamping community group, if you can't find me on Facebook, then drop me a message and I'll send you a link. We have a monthly challenge going over there. Our challenge this month is a colour challenge, and simply all you have to do is create something with those colours I've suggested. If you don't have those colours, use something very close to them. And then I randomly pick a winner each month to receive a Stampin' Up product, a small product, or if you're overseas, then you get to have a PDF emailed to you of a class. So yeah, that's my stamping community group. So right, it's now 8:25. I need to go over to the house, lock up here, make some lunches, and I'm going to sit down and place an order. So thank you for stopping by, guys. It's nice to have your company. I'll see some of you soon. But in the meantime, take care and bye for now.